I have a Weider Platinum exercise system that I bought over 10 years ago, and it was used at that time. So it's probably nearly 20 years old, and I hadn't used it in a while. And today when I tried to use it, when I was trying to adjust the tension, I get this message. So when I hit the increased tension, this message: release handles and readjust resistance as desired. So I tried several things, but nothing seemed to make any progress, and so I looked online and I found a few posts about it. Some of them suggested you have to get a technician out. Well, I don't think that they even make this anymore or support it, so I don't think there's any technicians that would work on it. But I found one posting from somebody who said that there's a wire inside the pivot arm that can break. And so I opened up the back. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is unplug it. So I opened this up, and this is what it looks like inside. I played around with it quite a bit to try to understand the mechanism and how it might even know if there's tension. I looked at several things, but the pivot arm is this piece right here. This is what gives it the tension. These cables are attached to a piece here that, when you tighten it, this piece moves along this bar, and that increases the tension, so that when you're pulling on it, it pulls harder when it's further out here. And so after looking at it a little further, what I found was over here, and you can see the wires are already exposed, but inside that black plastic sheath, there's a whole bunch of wires that go right down inside there where the pivot arm is fastened. And so every time that moves, they bend back and forth. So I cut open the black outer casing, which it's not easy to get to, but I used an X-Acto knife. And after I did that, I found that this blue wire, this piece, was actually loose. So I pulled it out, and then I got the other end. I had to grab it and fish it out, and I can see that it's broken. So I'm going to try wiring it back together, and we're going to see if that solves the problem. Now the fact is, there's actually about 6 wires there, so any one of them could have a break in them potentially. But I'm going to try this one first and see if that does the trick. So I managed to pull the wires out and get them exposed, strip the ends, and fasten them back together, at least temporarily. And now I'm going to go up here and increase the resistance. I no longer get the message. And you can hear that the mechanism is now working. We'll take a look at it from the back side so you can see how this actually operates. So when I increase the tension, that tightens the, there's a screw there that pulls that bar on the right towards the center. If I go back the other way, reduce the tension, it sends it back the other way to reduce tension. So that was the problem, evidently, and that is how I was able to solve it. So hopefully this is helpful for somebody else who has a Weider exercise system.